non-binaries, welcome back to Radiant Minds, where we shine the light on the messy, manipulative, and magnetic sides of modern love. I'm David De La Fuente, sexologist, LPC in training, and your favorite relationship realist with just enough sass to keep the truth from stinging too hard. This week, we explore recovery and empowerment, focusing on setting boundaries, surviving breakups, and rebuilding after toxic relationships. Toxic relationships can cause deep inner conflict, even long-lasting mental health impacts. We'll talk about practical steps to heal from clear boundaries, no contact rule, and how therapy can support you. Throughout, we'll weave in survivor stories to remind us we're not alone. First, let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries are the lines that define what behavior you accept from others. Healthy boundaries build trust, safety, and respect in all relationships. For example, one might set an emotional boundary by saying, "I feel hurt when you raise your voice. Please speak calmly." Or a digital boundary by deciding not to text after midnight. According to experts, successful boundary setting often requires self-awareness, clear communications. In other words, pause and reflect on your needs, then express them kindly but firmly. Here's some practical boundary setting tips. Identify what feels uncomfortable or draining you. Reflect on what you need to feel respected and safe. Communicate clearly and assertively, yet respectfully. Use statements. Example, "I need." The Stanford Counseling Guide reminds us to share feelings and needs calmly when setting limits. Follow through consistently. If a boundary is crossed, take action. For example, step away from a conversation if someone is disrespectful. This shows you respect your own needs. And lastly, use technology boundaries. Consider turning off notifications, not checking messages at certain times, or even blocking people who ignore your limits. These modern tactics help protect your emotional space. Remember, it can feel hard at first to insist on your boundaries. Some people will test them, but setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care. Over time, firm boundaries help you empower yourself and build healthier connections. Next, breakups. Ending a relationship, especially a toxic one, often feels like a small death. Grieving is natural. One widely recommended strategy is the no contact rule, cutting off all communications for a while. Why? Research shows that any continued contact, even online, can worsen the healing process. For instance, a study on former couples found that staying Facebook friends, surveilling it on social media was linked to more distress, longing, and slower recovery. In plain terms, each glimpse of an ex's life can trigger pain and keep wounds open. So what does no contact look like in practice? It might include deleting old messages and photos. Remove reminders so you can focus on yourself. Blocking or muting on social media. Avoid the temptation to check on them. This protects your emotional energy. Being honest with friends. Let loved ones know you need a clean break. Ask them not to share news about your ex. Self-care routines. Fill the space with positive activities, exercises, creative hobbies, or journaling instead of dwelling on the breakup. It's also important to process your feelings. Research on breakup coping shows that ruminating, which is replaying the breakup over and over, tends to prolong the pain, whereas adaptive coping strategies like talking through feelings, problem solving for the future, keeping a positive mindset led to a better adjustment. For example, instead of endless scrolling through old messages, try writing a supportive note to yourself or planning something you enjoy. Each step you take away from the past and towards growth helps you heal. Remember, the no contact period is about giving yourself space to heal without constant reminders. It can feel really hard at first. Some people report anxiety or urges to reach out, but studies like Tara Marshall's remind us that even brief exposure to seeing their photo can trigger. By cutting contact, give your mind a chance to recover and rebuild self-confidence. Healing from a traumatic relationship often takes support. Therapy can be a powerful aid. There are different approaches, but many therapists use trauma-informed methods. Trauma-informed therapy shifts the focus to what happened to you instead of what's wrong with you, which helps survivors feel understood and safe. This approach acknowledges that past abuse shapes how you feel now, avoids blaming you for having those reactions. Here are some therapeutic models and supports often used in recovery. Number 1, the cognitive behavioral theory helps identify and reframe negative thoughts. I deserve this abuse into healthier ones. Study shows that CPT can significantly improve recovery from trauma and abuse. Number 2, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, which is EMDR. It's a therapy that helps process and reduce the emotional intensity of traumatic memories. Like CPT, EMDR also has been shown to help domestic violence survivors greatly reduce PTSD symptoms. Number 3, support groups or peer support. Talking with others who have similar experience can normalize feelings and provide a practical advice. Hearing a survivor's story can be empowering. Research suggests peer support models are valuable for many survivors. Number 4, narrative therapy techniques. These focus on rewriting your story. Therapists encourage you to find moments of strength in your own narrative, even small successes, to build empowerment. For example, highlighting how you survived hard moments. Number 5, self-care practices. While not a formal therapy, activities like mindfulness, yoga, or art can help regulate emotions and restore your emotional sense. A large survey of domestic violence survivors found that recovery is often seen as an ongoing process. Many women, approximately 81%, rated their recovery as gradual and never fully done. However, the same study showed hope and progress increased over time. For example, 77% of women separated from abuse over a decade were doing significantly better. This reminds us that improvements can be slow, but they can come. They do come. Therapy and supports are tools to guide that process, helping you rebuild confidence and hope. Final thoughts. Recovery from a toxic relationship is not a straight line. It's normal to have good days and setbacks, but the evidence is clear. Empowerment is possible. Setting clear boundaries helps protect you. Going no contact gives your emotions space to heal. Therapy and support gives you tools to rebuild. As one study of abuse survivors found, structured trauma therapies like CBT, EMDR lead to great recovery gains. If there's one take-home message, you deserve to heal and feel strong again. You have a community here cheering you on. Whether you journal, talk to a counselor, lean on friends, simply remind yourself that you are not alone. Every step helps. As the research reminds us, help is a process, but with time and support, many survivors reach a place of real recovery and hope. Thanks for listening to Radiant Minds. If today's episode resonated with you, consider reaching out for help or talking with someone you trust. Remember, setting boundaries and seeking support aren't just things you do for others, it's acts of self-love. You've taken a brave step by tuning in, and we believe you in your journey. Until next time, stay grounded, stay whole, and never apologize for protecting your peace.